And next up on the podcast, we talk about what it's like to go viral. And this story has been titled by Tim as "Shoe Stealer," and it's quite complex. But let me try and explain. So there's a woman in New York who was out and about in Soho in New York City, and she bumped into a man who it turns out that she'd already been matched with on Tinder. So things transpire and they go on a date. And what happened, and she will explain in her TikTok, which went viral, she will explain exactly what happened. But ultimately, it transpired that this man who she went on a date with stole her shoes. And they're not just any old like flats here, okay? We're talking about £1,000 or $1,000 of these Mary Jane tabbies. I think they're really ugly, but by the by, I wouldn't spend £1,000 on a pair of shoes anyway. Anyway, let's hear from the woman in question. I think her TikTok name is Next Level Lexus. At Next Level Lexus. And this is why she went viral.
More of the story is don't fuck with this fucker named Joshua on Tinder. He's a dickhead. And if you know who he is, where he lives, or anything about him, fucking let me know, because I deserve retribution and I want my fucking shoes back.
Yeah, so pretty extraordinary. I mean, who on earth would do that? But yes, Lexus, she posted this TikTok, obviously getting very angry at this man stealing her shoes, and then the internet kicked in. Online sleuths managed to track down the guy to his Instagram account, where, believe it or not, he had posted a photo of his girlfriend. So he had a girlfriend wearing those shoes, and it's just extraordinary. And then I think she must have still had his number, and messaged him saying, "What is this picture? Like, what are you doing?"
No, she didn't. She didn't have his number, because it was even worse than that. So when just before he'd left her apartment the morning after, he had asked for her phone to sort of like add something on Spotify or something like that. And so she'd given him his phone, and he'd gone through her call history and deleted his number.
What?
And unmatched the two of them on Tinder as well. So she had no way of being able to trace him. It's only because of social media and online sleuths, as you say, that she was able to somehow track this guy down. And the wonderful thing about it is that he then was forced to give her the shoes back, which I believe there is also a video of that as well, because she filmed it for good measure.
Yeah, and I didn't realise that. Gee, what a horrible man.
I know, but then he did actually return them, which I suppose is just goes to show that when you're caught out, and he said, "Yeah, you got me," and so he's caught out. But the nasty bit of it, even though she got her shoes back, so it's all great. It the whole kind of online campaign and speaking on TikTok worked, but she got a real backlash as well. There was this kind of sort of slut shaming that went on as a result, because she'd said in her first video, I didn't on the date, it didn't seem like it was going to really go anywhere. We slept together that night, we slept together the next morning as well, and so all these people piling in saying, well, if you didn't like him, then why did you sleep with him? A man would never get that question, but so she's had to face quite a lot, but at least she's got her shoes back.
The other thing I want to address is the slut shaming. Like, that shit is kind of a lot. Like, it's been pretty rough to see. It's not like, I'm someone who has pretty thick skin, so, but it's just like to focus on that and not what he did shows how there are layers of misogyny to this whole entire situation. So to punish my behavior and say, oh, well, what do you expect when you just open your legs and things like that, instead of being like, that's crazy that there are not decent human beings out there who just won't steal from you.
And there is also still a happy ending to it. Yeah, she got her shoes back, and also the guy's girlfriend dumped him, which is no surprise from it.
Hooray!